This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There he is. No Montreal Expos hat. Wow.
No.
Wow. You don't take that out on the streets? You're embarrassed or something? Is that what it is?
No, it's long, complicated, boring story nobody wants to hear.
Okay, all right.
No.
Do they
I'm a little naked right now.
think you're French Canadian and you won't be tipping people? What was going on? Tell me. Walk us through.
I compensate for my peeps, so if anything, I tip very, very generously. Trying to break the stereotype, you know what I'm saying?
You remember Neil? Neil used to kill the French Canadians, dude. Oh my God, he used to wipe them out all the time. It was funny as hell, by the way. I mean, he would take a shot at everybody, by the way, not just French Canadians. But I remember his rants on French Canadians. They were strong. They were strong and funny at times. Rest in peace, Neil. All right, so it's nice to have a coach that actually communicates with you guys and tells you like things. Yeah, no, that's not true. You know, that kind of stuff. So first of all, squashing the Tom Brady rumor, that was good. Kind of end with that one already, which I think most of us with a brain didn't believe it in the first place, but go ahead.
No, correct. And again, him saying what pretty much was kind of clear, except that Teddy Bridgewater, for some reason, danced around the question about what he was told his role was going to be. This is where I'm not completely sure I agree with Mike McDaniel. We're saying it wasn't his place to say so. I mean, it would have been no problem for me to Teddy Bridgewater to just say, listen, I'm going to come in to help the team this way. Can Tua is a starter. I've been in this league a long time. I can help him see things and all that. And, you know, if I get my turn to play, then I'm going to do what I've always said. Something along those lines. I don't think that would have been a stretch. I don't think that would have been anything wrong with it whatsoever. Having said that, again, it was good that Mike McDaniel made it perfectly clear. Bridgewater's a backup. He's the perfect backup for what he was looking for. Tua was a starter. And again, it makes the perfect sense. Tua was the guy you drafted 5th overall 2 years ago. You need to see and make a determination on this guy in his 3rd season before you move forward one way or the other, whether you move along with him, you know, past his 3rd year, or whether you need to revisit the idea of looking for a quarterback. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense from a lot of different directions. And as you mentioned, I mean, Jiminy Christmas, is it really a big stretch for a coach to be able to say that? I mean,
no, but the guy you had last year, it was like pulling teeth for him to tell you anything, bro. Anything. Like, even the offensive coordinator stuff was so it ended up looking stupid because it was a stupid idea. And maybe that one you should keep under wraps because it was a dumb idea. But normally, there are things that he would not reveal, which wasn't giving you any kind of an advantage or anything like that. It's just nice that you guys get to cover a human being, dude, not a robot.
But in his defense, here's what I would tell you, though. It certainly leaves open the possibility, if not the likelihood, that the Dolphins tried in a lot of different directions for an offensive coordinator last year, and they wound up by default having to go with George Godsey and Eric Studesville.
Maybe.
With all the respect to those two gentlemen. And if that's the case, then Brian Flores doesn't even want to publicize that the Dolphins, you know, went after a lot of guys, and everybody kept saying no thanks, no thanks, no thanks, which is not a good look.
I wonder what Gailey and Caldwell were saying behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those aren't two jerks. Those are known as guys that are like team guys, good people, good human beings, guys that get along with people, guys that have adjusted to all kinds of, you know, situations. I mean, Jim Caldwell saved the Ravens' ass in the middle of a season, and they ended up winning a title, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, and Gailey has been all over the place, bro. He's worked with Jerry Jones. He's been here. He's been in the Georgia Tech. He's been all over the place. He has a ton of experience. So I just wonder what those people said about him. And then that's why he had trouble developing any kind of an offense. Now, back to the Bridgewater thing. Here's my theory from last week.
Go ahead.
And it's zero malicious, because I don't believe Teddy Bridgewater has a malicious bone in his body. I think he's pure class. And I think he understands his role. But he's still a pro, and in his mind, he still looks at himself as a starter. So he wasn't comfortable publicly giving up on his career and talking to you guys as the backup, because he still holds out hope that if this season's done, he'll go somewhere else to be a starter somewhere else or something like that. So I think there was a mental game, what's it called? Like a mental approach to it by Teddy that he, you know what I'm saying? Like
no, that's possible.
That's the only reason I was thinking about it. Not that he's saying, oh, I don't want to talk about that because I'm here to steal Tua's job. No, nothing about that. I just think he doesn't want to look at himself or talk to you and talk down to himself. Like if I would tell you, well, Alan, I'm kind of slowing down, dude. I just want to be somebody's sidekick now. I don't really want to lead a show. I don't want to do it. I just, I just want to be the yes man on the show and let somebody else drive and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I don't think Teddy's ready to say that.
No, that's fair. I'm cool with that. By the way, I'll be the yes man, no problem, anytime.
I will never be. Go ahead.
No, I'm kidding. No, and the other point too, because the one guy who was a major contrast to that was Ryan Fitzpatrick when he was very clear, but Ryan Fitzpatrick also was very late in his career, very, very, I don't want to say comfortable in his skin because that makes it sound like Bridgewater isn't, but very at peace with the fact that he's been looked at as a journeyman backup his entire career. So anything else he gets is gravy. So it was easier for him to say, yeah, I'm here. I'm just holding the seat warm until they decide to go with Tua, and I know my place.
Yet when he lost it, he then showed emotion on losing it too.
Well, because the circumstances were so ridiculous, and I addressed this yesterday, and somebody will have to explain to me how any of this made sense, that when they made the change, fine, if the idea was Tua's the guy we drafted high, we need to develop him and all that, which, okay, fine. This was after, remember, the Dolphins had won 2 games by 20-plus points, Fitzpatrick, 3 TD passes both game. Okay, well, if that's the case, then, then it should be...
Right. No,
but then it should be...
Right. You're 1,000% right, dude. Yes.
No, but then it's all about Tua's development, then why are you benching him? Right. So that made no sense. It's 2 different approaches within the same season.
To back you up, you can't be the coach and say, I'm doing what it takes to win, and then you pull the guy that's helping you win. You can't. That makes no sense. You can't
unless you're told from upstairs to make the switch.
Maybe. Although I don't think that was the case. I just think he did a lot of stupid things, and all of that.
Well, mind you, it's pretty well established. It's been.
Well, we lost you there. What? Say that again. Wait a minute. There we go. Now you're back. Repeat what you just said. Yes.
Am I back?
Yes, sir. You are. Go ahead.
So
go ahead. We got.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Repeat what you just said.
No, I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear us. Oh.
Okay.
You don't hear me?
Okay. Let me hang up and call back.
Okay. All right. There we go. Don't you love live? People always tell me, so why don't you just podcast it? And I always say, I hate podcasting. Because that means you like dress it all up behind the scenes. And no, dude, I like live and raw. So that way, mistakes are made. It's natural. You get to see them. We're all human, man. And so nothing's perfect. There he is. I love live because live, there's always screw ups like this, the technicality stuff. All right. So repeat what you just said before you went out there on that one.
Yeah, no, the point I was making is that it's been out there and it's pretty much a given, accepted pretty widely that Flores was not a huge Tua fan. So this notion that it was him who like really was jonesing to have Tua in the lineup, kind of a little bit of a stretch. So that's why I'm thinking.
Or sabotaging him. Yeah, let's start him against the Rams. That's a good place to start. Yeah, Michael Brockers and
dude, you honestly think Brian Flores was like thinking, let me scheme up a way to mess up the guy we just took in the first round with the 5th overall pick? Really? Damn.
There's a part of me that is thinking that because he never.
Damn, that's some Oliver Stone shit right there.
I know, but I also know for a fact that on draft day he wanted no part of Tua, and that's kind of
which again to me would go along with the idea of that's why he started Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that's why in the sixth game. After 6 game, he made the switch because, again, somebody from upstairs told him, get 2 on the lineup.
Maybe. You might be right, bro.
Yeah.
You might be right on that one, man. Might be right. All right, so are you disappointed that Brady's not coming? That he let you down? You know, were you disappointed with that?
Well, in so much that I didn't think it was going to happen now because, again, Tom Brady had all the leverage on the Bucks while he was quote unquote retired. The second he unretires, he's got no leverage, and it's your basic. Why would the Buccaneers make the move then? It makes no sense.
No, and Bruce Arians said this. He said it as much. He said like, yeah, no, you're gonna have to give me about 8,000 picks if you want them. You know, that kind of stuff. So he made it known that nobody's trading for Tom Brady. If you want him, yeah, okay, we'll trade him, but you're going to give up a hell of a price for him because there's no way that the guy was going to let him go.
No, unless Brady appeals to to ownership and says, "Listen, I got you guys a Super Bowl. You know, the least you could do," and then like threaten to retire again. Now you're dealing with like. I don't know what the cap implications are for the Buccaneers. On top of that, he convinced some free agents to re-sign with the Bucs. So that ship has sailed. The fact that the guy who put out the story about it supposedly was one of the first ones, if not the first one, who had him signing with the Bucs in the first place in 2020.
So he guessed it then, and now he's guessing now. I mean, is it a guy that's constantly breaking stories, or was it a guy that had that one story and now is trying to fish for another one? I mean, when you fish the way you fish for this one, it makes me feel like you were fishing for the other one too. And you know.
Well, my bottom line, Big O, is I want a franchise quarterback. I don't care who it is.
You have one.
You know, if it happens to be two, I'm sorry.
You have one.
We'll find out. I'm not there yet.
Oh no, we know that. We know that. Don't worry about it. By week 12, 15, when he's just lighting it up, the bandwagon will be passing by you and we'll all wave at you, Alan.
Okay.
We're all going to wave at you. Say, hey, there you are. You can't get on with us. See you, Alan. So, don't worry about it.
I'm not on it up. I'm just observing from afar, one way or the other. I have no, I'm going to chronicle the Dolphins, win, lose, Tua, no Tua, good, bad. It's all the same. I wrote a column.
Winning this year.
I'm sorry.
You're going to chronicle winning and playoff this year.
Good. I'd like to chronicle playoffs. It's been a long time, and I'd also like to chronicle a playoff win that's been longer.
Can't wait.
No, and for the record, I wrote a column this weekend about what I just told you, that this is the year for Tua. The Dolphins need to make an evaluation this year.
Of course.
It's 3 years. I don't care what happens around him. It's 3 years. He's obviously got a lot more help around him this year, no question about it. Based on what McDaniel's offense has done, the Shanahan, what Cham have done with the Rams, with Jared Goff, I would be very surprised if Tua's passer rating, which was 90.1 last year, wasn't 96, 97. Hell, it might even be higher. Just because of the talent he has around him, the yak possibilities that are there. The offensive line is going to be better. The question is whether we're going to end 2022 fully confident the Dolphins have an elite quarterback and that door closed. We ride along with Tua for the next whatever number of years, or the search needs to continue or restart again, I should say.
All right. What else stood out from you in that press conference?
Not a whole lot.
Right.
No, the only other thing that kind of surprised me a little bit is he basically said Teron Armstead, the left tackle, and everything else is up in the air. Considering the fact Connor Williams played nothing but left guard for the Cowboys the past 4 years, from what I was told from the people in Dallas, he's not really built to be a tackle. They tried him at center.
Maybe right guard is what I was.
No,
thinking.
correct.
I think
but why are you switching him sides, though? Why are you switching him sides? He played the left side.
I don't think they're switching sides, Alan. I think he's going to be your left guard, but I think they want to just leave it in the open because something develops throughout the offseason training camp that one of their own guys the light goes on and the guy has a hell of a performance. And I don't think they want to take that carrot away from anybody. Even though they feel Connor is the guy, they want the other guys to have the idea the job is still open and you're competing with Connor and you're competing for right or left. So I think it's more of a mentality thing. With Teron Armstead, there's no mentality thing. Effing guy's a Pro Bowler. He's a stud.
Yeah,
He's a Hall of Famer working on a. So that guy, there's no argument. You put him at left. But with Connor, you can kind of say, yeah, you've accomplished, but you haven't arrived. So we're going to put you in the mix and keep everybody in the game. And I think that's just a mental game that they're playing. That's just me.
No, that's very, very good. I will. If we were on that ESPN show where they award points for good arguments, you get a lot of ding, 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 ding. That was very solid.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I just started covering football 2 weeks ago. All right. So what are you working on Sports Illustrated there so folks can check you out, my friend?
Well, I mean, yeah, we're the post phase, and we're going to do some more analyzing what everything means right now, what the Dolphins might go from now. At some point, I'm going to do a re-ranking of the biggest needs, and then whatever news pops up, we'll break it down and analyze it.
Okay. Were you shocked, by the way, when Barry wrote this? I thought you could get no more than a 6-pack of Schaefer beer for Devontae Parker, but he says there's a market out there, and even the Eagles. Although I pointed this out to Dolphin fans last week. So according to Barry, they're looking for somebody opposite of Devonta Smith, and they're looking at Devontae Parker. And I just told Dolphin fans, hey, they were looking for somebody opposite of Waddle, and they went and got Tyreek Hill. So that's a hell of a difference from the Eagles to the Dolphins.
No, but the thing is, I think a lot of teams are going to try to get Parker on the cheap, because I think you see where it stands right now, and you're looking at Hill, Waddle, Cedric Wilson, who they just signed, Trent Sherfield, who's going to be your new Mac Hollins as a gunner and wide receiver. They didn't sign him to cut him before the 53. That's 4 right there.
And he does nothing, which is, as you know, that 4th, 5th, 6th guy, if you're going to keep those guys, they have to be dual guys. They have to help you out somewhere else. And unfortunately, Parker helps nowhere.
Correct. So that's why I think teams are like sniffing around and thinking, yeah, we can get him on the cheap. And if you're hurting for wide receivers, Parker's a good player. And we've gone back and forth with him, but he's a good receiver when he's on the field.
Yeah, he's productive. There's no doubt about it. And the salary isn't crazy. So I get it. It's manageable for a lot of teams. I'm with you there. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. And more importantly, listen, if you're a Dolphins fan anywhere in the world that you're listening to me, that's the beauty of the internet. It makes the world, really small. So bookmark the SI page there, and you'll get 8,000 stories a day because the man doesn't stop writing. Even when he's sleeping, he's writing. It's impressive. Alan, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. But you do get a point deducted. No Montreal Expos hat. I mean, that's.
I'll try to do better next time.
Traditions must stay alive. Yeah, traditions must stay alive. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Talk to you Thursday.
There you go. You know it. That's our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.